Hi guys, Harbs Narbs here. Today we're going to be doing a video on some of the lore surrounding the data mined content. I know that some of you don't want to see spoilers surrounding data mined content, and this video will go into a separate playlist. If you're still watching this video and you really don't want to see potential spoilers about the game, then please stop watching now. Before we start, I'd like to point out that some of the information that is discovered in data mining is subject to change, or they could be red herrings altogether. Game developers know that people will try to data mine their content, and so it's important we keep this in mind. There is going to be a lot of rambling lore and nonsensical things said in this video, as I'm using content that people have data mined, and therefore a lot of this isn't the full picture. Okay, let's go. First, I'd like to take a look at what someone called Priest posted to Reddit about a week ago. This post primarily focused on topics surrounding the Githyanki. The first part of the data mine we can see is what is inside the artifact is in fact the spirit of a Gith general. Now, we can see that this general is male, and unless this is some kind of red herring, then it cannot be Gith, the ancient leader who overthrew the Illithids and then became the leader of the Githyanki, because she is female. However, her counterpart, he battled Gith and had massive ideological differences with her on the direction of the Gith race. This person, of course, is Zerthimon, leader of the Githzerai. According to Dragon Magazine number 378, the following is believed by the Githzerai. Among the Githzerai, Zerthimon is considered to be the greatest of the departed ancestors. Those who evoke the spirits or divine power use Zerthimon's name often for guidance and inspiration. Githzerai legend holds that Zerthimon meditates forever within the realm of the spirits, marshalling his people toward greatness with his visions. Some say he might return one day, in the form of a mighty spirit, to lead the Githzerai. Does this artifact signal Zerthimon's return? Maybe. What's curious is that when we analyse the artifact, the game tells us that it is covered in Githyanki scripture. The Githzerai and the Githyanki actually speak the same language under two different dialects, but the writing is the same and it is called Tirsu. The method in which they write Tirsu differs, however, with the Githyanki writing in a clockwise fashion from the top of a wheel, and the Githzerai writing in an anti-clockwise method from the bottom of a wheel. If we go off other theories that this is an infernal puzzle box because of the game's link with Descent into Avernus, and the fact that other data mine content signifies that Silvira Silvacus, a tiefling who has extensive knowledge on infernal boxes, will be in the game, and that the artifact has links to the Nine Hells, given that the dead mind flayers spoke of the weapon being linked to brimstone, not to mention that we can speak to the Githyanki Kithrak, where we refer to this strange shaped object as a box, then it begs the question, why would Zerthimon or any ancient Gith general be inside this thing? Everything screams that it should be Gith, but this one word says otherwise. Unless, of course, it is a red herring. Let's have a look at another piece of the data mine. So, whoever is inside the artifact does not want Shadowheart to retain it, which means she is not a custodian or someone who will help the Gith general inside. There is actually some concept art on ArtStation by Konstantin Porobov, who has designed concept art for Larian, and this Githyanki looks older and more authoritarian than the others. I'm just throwing out ideas here, but I imagine this guy will be concept art for somebody. Another example of a Githyanki general that I can find are Rasgon from the 2nd edition Black Sun adventure, Black Spine. And Black Sun is something that Wizards have considered introducing, as Mike Merle said this at GaryCon 2018 in reference to the Mystic class. We don't need that class until we do Dark Sun. Anyway, let's take a step back from the idea of the general and have a look at some more data mine content surrounding the Githyanki. Priest also provided me with the following regarding portals in the Gith Kresh. Let's take a look at the contents of the data mine. So, here we have Home, Astral Plane. Wild, Feywild, includes a potential deal with a hag. Ache, Shadowfell, includes an undead ambush. Deal, Avernus. Echo, Echoes. Howl, Barovia. Some of these are self-explanatory, so let's quickly go through the first two. The Astral Plane is where the Githyanki city of Tunarath is. The Feywild is a place of potent magic, and is in fact an echo of the Prime Material Plane, almost down to the geography itself. Many elves upon the Prime Material Plane had their ancient origins in the Feywild. The notes connected to this portal refer to a potential deal with a hag, which are a type of Fey, and unlike elves, they are an evil and twisted reflection of nature. Okay, so Ache and the Shadowfell. Ache is defined as follows: a continuous or prolonged dull pain in a part of one's body. Not that I think that there is a literal physical ache, but it's worth keeping that definition in mind for later. Remember, these code names next to the portals are written from the perspective of the Githyanki. In the Neverwinter series of games, there is someone called the King of Shadows, who tore a portal between the Shadowfell and the Astral Plane, although he was beaten back by the Githyanki. Now, the King of Shadows was actually defeated by a human warlock called Amon-Jero, who managed to find the Silver Sword of Gith when he descended into the 9 Hells. He took advice from the devil called Levistus and managed to use the blade to defeat the King of Shadows. The blade was destroyed in the process, but later reforged and used again by the hero Kalak-Char, who did finally permanently defeat the King of Shadows. Allegedly. We can see in brackets next to Shadowfell that it includes an undead ambush. Well, the King of Shadows did use an undead army whilst in the Mirror of Dead Men on Faerun, and his connection to the Silver Sword of Gith through the Neverwinter games could hint at his significance in Baldur's Gate 3, especially with all the talk of Githyanki in the game, who, by the way, are obsessed with retrieving the sword for themselves. But let's reverse for a quick second. I mentioned the Archdevil Levistus pointed Amon-Jero in the right direction to find the Silver Sword of Gith in the 9 Hells. Levistus is the Archdevil of the icy plane of Stygia, the 5th layer of Hell. Now, remember when Shadowheart says this,
I'm gonna do because I need a companion.
Come on. The chase through hell? The creatures? What they did to us? The tadpole?
So she refers to a chase, but the chase had already stopped when we went to Avernus, and so I can only imagine that we were in hell during this icy part, and that it is in fact the realm of Levistus and a potential nod that we could be going back there. Maybe, given the events of the Neverwinter game, it is where we will find Gith. So I went a little off topic there, but the point is that the ache is the possible effects the Shadowfell could have on the astral plane, and the loss of their leader Gith and her silver sword, which is sorely sought after. I may be pushing things there though. Deal and Avernus likely refers to the deal that the Githyanki have with Tiamat regarding the Red Dragons. Echo, and then the subsequent Echoes, could refer to the regions that echo the Prime Material Plane. According to the 5th edition Player's Handbook, the Feywild and the Shadowfell are echoes of the Prime Material Plane, but these are already referred to in other portals. So if it isn't these two, then what could it be referring to? Now, there is a plane called the Plane of Dreams, and in the 4th edition supplement, The Plane Above, we can see the following regarding the Plane of Dreams. Most creatures in the Plane of Dreams are formed from dreams, just like the terrain and environment are. However, many visitors are drawn to the plane because of the knowledge contained in its echoes of dreams. Servants of Vecna comb the plane for secrets, and spies from the information brokers of Sigil sift through the most recent dreamscapes for information useful to their employers. Minions of Orcus search the ruins of ancient dreams for a hint of the Raven Queen's long-forgotten name. And the Githyanki particularly enjoy preying on visitors to the plane. Adventurers might seek a portal to dream, either to aid or to hinder such individuals. We already know that Baldur's Gate 3 is dream focused due to the many dreams we have when we go to sleep at night.
Tell me, who do you dream of at night?
Lastly, we have Howl and Barovia. Barovia, if you are unfamiliar, is ruled by the vampire Strahd von Zarovich, and used to be a location on an ancient world upon the Prime Material Plane. However, it was transported to the Shadowfell. Barovia is usually associated with the D&D campaign setting Ravenloft, and Strahd's own castle is even called Castle Ravenloft. So why the word Howl? Well, to start, there is a Ravenloft 2nd edition module entitled Howls of the Night, but this is something fairly small. A creature which is commonly associated with Barovia and Ravenloft in general are werewolves, and this is what I believe Howl refers to. We can already see from other datamined content that Helia will be a werewolf, and from Chublot's video on Ethel's vicious mockery lines, we can see that she says several things relating to lycanthropy.
I've cured many of lycanthropy, Petal, but with that little fella in your head, all bets are off.
Okay, thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this video, then do please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!